Yo, what's up, everybody? We got Abu Dhabi, final race of the Hakkinen series, last race for the 20 or F1 2021 game, uh, except for Mansell, which has one more left. So second last, some people would call that, but not me. All right, howdy, what's up, Valhalla? Hopefully we get a good race today. If we've got a clear finish for Viking in the constructors, which Mercedes is fighting for with Alfa Romeo, I've been promised some donuts, so maybe we might see that. Hopefully. Let's bring up our sponsors. Hopefully I press the right button. There we go. As always, Sully Shirts, Sim SA Racing, or Sim Racing SA, sorry, and Shutter Media, our sponsors for this and all evenings. And yeah, Abu Dhabi. Weird track. Hate this track. But sometimes fun. Of course, for the next game we're going to have the updated layout without the weird chicane at the end of the first section. Let's bring up some details. Some telemetry, which people love. Probably some lap data as well. So Aladdin, of course, as always, is on the first of the laps. So we're going to see that in a second. For now, we might take away a bit of the details, seeing as we're just following on with Aladdin to start with. So let's follow on with Aladdin's lap. Tricky first few corners. Pretty simple first one, but then this one uphill, left and right. Traction's really weird. Got to keep it tight, flat out. Down into the first chicane. A really quick left-right. The old left-right good night. Aladdin down into second throughout that really tight left-hander onto the straight with the DRS zone. Massive overtaking opportunity down here, as you can probably see, with a beautiful shot of the McLaren, and I think maybe another Haas behind. Down into the braking zone. Another left-right onto the second DRS zone, so another great DRS overtaking opportunity here. Usually you want to be sticking a bit further over to the right, over that curb. Another chicane, which you can really mount the curb if you need to. And then around into the sort of well, not underground, but all the overhead area, down into Latifi's corner. And exit out onto the start-finish straight with a very decent lap there for Admiral Aladdin. 136.5. Not bad at all. Let's see where the rest of the field ends up. A-Lock with a 137.7. Who's going to cross the line next? Noxie in that Haas with a 139. We've got Hazza is also out on one. Same with Ronaldinho. G Haddy Joe is in second with a 136.7. So just 2/10 behind. Let's check where Ronaldinho is. I need to bring up the map as well, so that I can see what's going on. So Ronaldinho is coming through that sector 3, close to the wall on exit. Seems to be on quite a good time right now. $137.2, good enough for third place so far. Hazza is just coming around that same section now, sector 3. Ooh, running a little wide, not invalidating, but we can see is well off the pace, is already at 130. Yellow flags, probably let people past. Seems a little tentative under the braking. And crosses the line for a 141.7. Wild just coming across that same corner, which we've managed to catch most of the drivers at to see their third sector, how it plays out. People not getting too close to that curb, which can unsettle the car, which is good. You want a late apex here so that you can get the drive. And Wild with a 137.1 is good enough for third place. Who else have we got? We've got Avanti on one with a purple sector 2. Julius Cheeser out of the session, so a crash by the looks of it in sector 1. We will just see if we can ride on board with CSAT. No, I've missed whoever that was. Was it Joe? It was, damn. But nonetheless, a crash which has resulted in an unfortunate situation with the Mercedes, who are fighting for the constructors. So Julius Cheeser will need a good result. Although Cat also, with in the same spot, has a similar issue. Let's see if we can see Cat. Yeah, has clipped the rumble strip, unsettled the car. Gone into the wall. So there you go. All of the pressure on Val and Viking now for their qualifying position. Although knowing Viking, we might not see a quali lap from them. We're on board now with Valhalla going down into that tight chicane at the end of the overtaking zone into the second one. Great job, Cato. Look, it's rough. I'm not gonna lie. Same place as Cheeser, so it's you know, not the end of the world. You'll be able to recover, I'm sure. Noxie in 7th with the medium tyres. I'm not sure if that's I think that's just put them on in the pit sort of thing. I don't know if that time's been set on mediums. In fact, I'm pretty sure it wasn't. Valhalla crossing the line with a 138.1. And I think that's pretty much it for now. We've got another outlap coming out from A-Lock, so we'll have a little look at that. So the positions right now, we've got O10s, Millsy, C-Savs, Val and Viking all to set times. Everyone else has set a time already. Oh no, steering input settings is the report from Cato. Oh, rough. Yeah, that's no good. Well, better figuring that out in quali rather than the race. So A-Lock just on an outlap here. It's good to see the McLaren being put through its paces in Sector 3 right now. Cool shot. Alright, let's see how A-Lock does through this first sector. Gonna ride on board. It's a tricky first, second corner to get right. We're gonna see if they lift. I mean, yeah, they did, but not really in the way you would expect. Yeah, it just goes to show you that even on those soft tires, man, the grip through there is tricky. A lift is not a bad idea. Which A-Lock did do, but it was almost at the apex of the corner, so it's possible that it was a little too late. Very lucky to be still going in a straight line. So with that being said, we might pop along and see Ronaldinho's lap. I believe he's on a hot lap right now in Sector 2, in the big DRS zone. This is a tricky braking zone to get right. You need to get the car all the way over to the left. And that first apex really sets up your exit onto this straight, so it's important to get it right. Same with this one, but not quite as important. You can really run that curb as Ronaldinho does. A little too aggressively, gets the invalidation. So, seeing as we've seen most of these people, we're going to ride on board with Val, who's coming through Sector 3 on the medium tyres. We're going to have a little look at what a medium tyre lap looks like around here. Some wheel spin there, trying to get heat into the tyres. Very important on these harder compounds. Alright, let's see what Val's got. Getting all the way over to the right, using the whole track. Very nice out there. Big lift through there, which is good, keeps the car stable. Doesn't take too much of the curb on the right. Is coming onto some traffic. They're taking the new track layout, which is very polite of them. This is good so far. If DJ Millsy gives a bit of a tow, oh my god. Okay. I don't know what that was, but Val, very confident, just going straight through. Using all the track again to get the best possible exit. Swings the car around. Short shifts to get the power down onto the second straight. Not quite as quick as it could have been. You staying far left though to keep the track distance as short as possible. Coming down into this bumpy section where we ride the curb. Very nice. And into the braking zone. To this tricky Sector 3. Getting nice drive through that corner. Through Latifi's corner. Getting the power down nicely. Noxie with a bit of an accident there. And Val is going to cross the line with a very good pole position, or provisional pole position, with a 136.1 on medium tyres. Avanti just behind with a 136.4, which bumps Aladdin down to third place. Incredibly impressive lap there from Val on medium tyres to be on provisional pole. That's insanely good. We've seen a retirement from O10s. Noxie's just gone through ahead, so we're going to head on over and watch the rest of Noxie's lap, also on the medium tyres. That was quite the lap there from Val. Yo, Dave. Slick. Yeah, it was. Or sick, whichever one. It was both of those. Noxie currently half a second better off on this lap. Not quite enough to put them up a position. Needs to find another half second. As we see a nice shot of the stewards there. Looking around, doing nothing, as usual. Through sector 3, gets a curb, a little bit too much. Gets a spin, and unfortunately won't be finishing off this time. I imagine we'll dip straight into the pits. Oh, going around again. Okay. Needs to be careful through this first sector with those tyres. They're probably a bit warm. Need to make sure, especially through this next part, that we don't see too much curb being taken. Great line through there and misses all of it, so pretty much perfect. We'll check back in with Noxie a little later. We're going to have a quick flick around, see what else is going on. Not much at the moment. Is Millsy on one? Millsy on an outlap. Wild is on a lap, so we're gonna... Maybe. That was a lift? Yeah, it was. Maybe Joe then. Haven't seen a lap from Joe yet. Getting a very nice line through there, running that curb to the grippy part of it, so as to not unsettle the car. Up a little bit on their previous time, so might not see an improvement here. We'll just click back over to see Noxie finish off this lap as Hazahawk gets out the way. Noxie with a fantastic 136.5 on those mediums. Joe doesn't quite get that lap together, so we'll pull into the pits, and that will be the end of their quali. DJ Millsy with purple sectors is really riding those curves nicely. This could be a potential pole lap. The track has improved as much as it's going to. Everyone else is finished, so all the rubber has been left out there. Through sector 3 onto the final 2 turns. Gets a little kick of oversteer there, probably from the curb. Gets a straight run to the line and does manage to put it on pole. So a pole position for DJ Millsy. A 135.8, 3 tenths better than the second place. Although it's important to remember that Val's lap was a 1 medium run, so those tyres will be as fresh as anything for the race, and they will be lasting quite a long time. So there you have it, qualifying for the final race of the Hakkinen series for the F1 2021 game. We have DJ Millsy on pole and Val on the front row with mediums. Wild, Joe, Avanti, a great performance from the two Haas drivers with Aladdin and Noxie in 6th and 7th. Ronaldinho, Valhalla, Alok, Hazza, and then a couple of DNFs. Cato didn't manage to finish their lap. O10s didn't set one. Neither did CSAVs. Cheezer crashed as well. And then Viking also didn't set one. So there we go. We're just going to wait for DJ Millsy to finish off their lap. Probably should retire, but there you go. Wants a little bit of practice. He's going around again. Alright. We have finished off qualifying. And the race will be beginning shortly. So one more time, there's our order for anyone that missed it. Should be an exciting race. Alfa Romeo and Mercedes fighting for the Constructors' Championship. Actually, let's have a quick look. I won't be able to show on stream, but we can quickly flick over to the standings and have a look at if there's anything else on the lookout for today. Hakkinen, what have we got? So Vikings well ahead and has already won the championship. Fourth place is very much up for grabs between Noxie and DJ. Constructors wise, it's very close between the top two. Ferrari firmly in third. Haas and Alfa Romeo? No, Haas and Aston Martin competing for fourth place. So lots to play for this race. And let's see how we go. Let's bring the chat back so that I can see it. There we go. Where's the money? Dunno. Val looking incredibly good so far. Aladdin with a great start moves up a position, although Joe with the inside line doesn't manage to keep a hold of it. Going into turn 1 and 2. Everything's staying pretty much fine. Joe moving up. Aladdin coming down a few spots. Noxie right on the back. A little bit further down the pack we have O10s moving up. Cat also with a nice move up the inside there on Valhalla. He's getting a good run out. One of them, McLaren's with a rough run, and Viking has already made it past. Noxie moving up ahead of Aladdin on the mediums. That's going to be a rough situation for the Haas to work out between them. Joe all over the back here of Avanti. As we see a bit of a big gap forming. Will they make a move? They're taking the outside line. Avanti has the space, but quite aggressively moves over. Avanti will get past, but also has the inside line again. As we have some yellow flags, that's Ronaldinho. We'll pop back to see what's going on there. A bit of a spin. Avanti has made the move stick back around Joe. And a 2-second gap has formed for first, second, and third. So they are in a pack of their own already. A little bit further down the field we have O10s has just crashed out. Oh no, right on Latifi's corner has had a bit of a crash. A couple people in the pit, Joe and Aladdin. That'll be why Aladdin let through Noxie. And Viking already up into 9th place. CSAV's all over the back of Valhalla through this Sector 1. We'll see how that goes with gaining much quicker through those 2 corners there. We'll see what kind of run CSAVs gets out on these medium tyres. Seemed to be a good one. Got the slipstream as well. Gaining. No DRS yet, of course, so CSAV's not using a bunch of energy to make this move stick yet, although a bit of a weird situation going on there. I don't really know what happened. Yeah, we're lagging a little bit, for sure. Weird, I don't know. Anyway, Val doing a great job keeping on the back of DJ Millsy. Almost dropping Wild, who's on the soft tyres. So Val can basically just get pulled along here, save the energy with the DRS. If there's no safety car, Val is in a fantastic position. CSAV's using a little bit more of that grip from the mediums, so tyres won't be lasting as long in the dirty air as well. Val with the fastest lap now. And approaching, getting out of range of Wild's DRS. CSAV's could look for a move, but chooses to wait. Viking really wants to get onto the back of CSAV's before this DRS zone. And Wild has been dropped. Will they be able to make it back in? Oh, he's pushing for it and gets a spin. And so that will be down into 7th? 6th? 7th. So very, very rough there for Wild. Actually drops all the way to 8th, with CSAV's about to move up as well with this DRS. Rear wing open, moves to the inside. Aladdin has retired from the session. Oh no. That looks like that same place in Sector 1 where we saw some crashes in Quali. Val with the DRS is all over the back of Millsy. And this is very important for the constructors. Val will need to be scoring a lot of points, as well as Cato, to make up the points necessary for the constructors' win. Right now, Val is in a commanding position for the rest of this race. Sounding sexy, thanks. Oh, it's Tom. Thanks, Tom. Need the support as always. Val still all over Millsy. Big gap, 3 seconds now to Avanti, who has a couple cars in DRS. Cato with the fastest lap on medium tyres. That is great to see, especially for the implications that might have on the constructors. And we're going to see he has managed to get inside Noxie's DRS range, who has fallen out of Avanti's, so we potentially could see an overtake here. Are we going to see that rear wing open? We do. So let's ride on board and see how quickly this gap diminishes. Noxie, though, in a slipstream of Avanti, possibly got DRS 2. DJ Millsy has been overtaken by Val, who's now in a much nicer position. Noxie gets the overtake. Cat still catching, but needs to be patient. Just watch this battle happen and pick their moment. Pizza box update. Still on the pizza box. Same one. Found a crust in there the other day. Didn't eat it. There's the pizza box update for you all. I've started turning it upside down though, because the bottom's a bit more of a flat surface for the mouse. Thanks for reminding me to give everyone the update. We'll be into my new house by next week. Potentially might even be able to race in the last Mansell race, so there you go. Cat all over the back of Avanti. Val has, very importantly, dropped Millsy, has already moved a second, or over a second, out of DRS range. And so Val is just going to ride off into the sunset potentially here. We might be at that crossover point where those soft tyres are beginning to fall off. The mediums are coming into their own. Slipstream and DRS here for Cat. Is taking the outside line, which is tricky, but all they need to do is get a good exit here and take the overtake here on the next one, which they will. Incredible exit there. Good choice to not fight it around the outside. Avanti already with the light flashing. Avanti going for it. He's going to overshoot that a bit, but Cat doesn't fight it back, which is probably good. No rush to get past. With that light flashing, it's only a matter of time. But what that has meant is that just behind is CSAVs, who seems to be struggling a little with connection. So we're not going to ride on board there, I don't think. We'll stay on with Cap, just so that it doesn't look too weird. Still, CSAVs will be wanting to see the overtakes happen as soon as possible. Julius Caesar is coming up on the back of Valhalla. Now, what's happened to Viking? We need to bring up some details, because I forgot to. So Viking has pitted and come out on the medium tyres. Cat will probably get this overtake done here. We've got a situation in Sector 1. I believe that's Joe. Cat does get the overtake. And we'll have the DRS to catch up to Noxie, who is currently in third. And CSAVs also gets the overtake, so Avanti dropped a few spots there. We also see a little bit further down the pack. Oh, that's the front of the pack. Viking has managed to get in front of Hazza. And so hopefully this pit strategy works for Viking with the... My game says online servers are offline. Well, that's weird. We're definitely racing online currently. Ronaldinho there, as I put the caster curse on him, has taken a little bit too much curb. Did a fantastic job though, keeping it pointed in the right way. Needed a couple corrections there, but has in the end only lost about 2 seconds to Valhalla, which, considering how bad that looked for a while, is actually not too bad. Bit of a lift through here. Oh no, the tyres were just a little warm, which has resulted in a spin in that notorious section. We're gonna leave them to sort themselves out. So we head back to CSAVs, Cato and Noxie, who are all battling for third. Cato with a great run. CSAVs is looking to get a double overtake done here. Cato will need to open up the space as well, which we don't see just yet. But CSAVs does get the move done. So we'll follow on with Noxie now, who needs to try their best to stay in this little pack that's forming, to get pulled along a little bit. Viking just behind Avanti. Hazza has chosen to go onto the hards. I believe that was a lap 1 pit stop. Or potentially started on them, I'm not sure. So we see some movement. DJ Millsy has pitted, 7-lap-old softs. That's about as far as they'll go. So we'll have to do 20 laps on the mediums to go to the end, which is doable. CSAV's all over Cato right now. This is now the battle for second place, as Millsy has pitted. Viking with a nice... Nope, never mind. Oh yeah, has overtaken Avanti. And Ronaldinho now in the pit. And CSAVs all the way up into second place now. Still disconnecting on the regular. So... it says the servers are down for maintenance. Oh. Yeah, that happens. I mean, maybe we started the race before that happened, and so they... I don't know. It's weird. That's lucky, because otherwise we would have had to have pushed it back another week. So CSAV's doing a great job at dropping Caddo so far. Caddo really needs to try and keep in DRS if they're staying out, which you would assume that they are. Not sure that it's going to happen though. CSAV's turning on the pace, is finally let loose from traffic and manages on 8-lap-old mediums to set the fastest time. Joe is out on fresh softs, Ronaldinho out on fresh mediums, Avanti out on fresh mediums, Millsy on mediums. So either a two-stopper or people are expecting to go 20 laps on these medium tyres. It's certainly doable. Did Noxie get DRS? They did, and using a little energy, maybe trying to look for the second DRS zone. Needs to get this one right. Uses a ton of energy. I'm not sure they're going to have the drive for this. Joe on those fresh softs does set the fastest time, so it's definitely doable. Oh no, who's that? We see, is that A-Lock? Or Hazza? It's Hazza. Millsy gets in front of Cheeser. Not great for the drivers. I mean, for the constructors. Cheeser with the penalty as well. I'm not sure what that was for. We'll check on it in a bit. Hopefully Julius Cheeser can sort of stay on the back of Millsy here, at least get some DRS out of it, but is very quickly dropping out of range of that, and we now see the second gap is completed, so we won't be getting any DRS unless there's some big gains made in Sector 1. But for now, everything's sort of sorted itself out. We see a pit from Valhalla, who's managed to go 9 laps on the softs, so it's a decent effort. We'll see where they come out. It's looking like they might get out ahead of these McLarens. A-Lock with a penalty for speeding, so that's one of the McLarens coming in. Hazza continuing on. And if there's no safety car, Hazza is in a good position on those hard tyres. Noxie still battling away, trying to get towards Caddo. Similar energy levels with the ERS in the bottom left corner there, about 20% each, so we'll have to see who uses theirs most wisely. But right now, the Alfa Romeo of Val and Caddo are in a really good spot. Both need to finish high up on those standings to be able to get the constructors. Oh, different region. True. Yeah, thanks for that, Dave. Yeah, EU servers are down if anyone wants to know. Yeah, we're in Australia. I'm not sure if we have our own server or probably not though. Anyway, top 4 all on those old mediums, 10 laps now, so they're going to be looking to do at least another 8 if they can. You see the DRS here. Cat has obviously used a little bit of energy to keep Noxie behind. Noxie did not use any ERS. Let's get an update on Cat. Yeah, 19%, so Noxie in a good position here. If he wants to burn it, can choose to. Is doing it, and it's gaining quite fast. Has turned it off. Will still get past, so a good move there by Noxie. Was very disciplined on the energy in that first overtaking zone. We've got Joe going for a risky overtake down into the chicane, and is going for it. Gets it. Wow, that was impressive. Bit of a lock up there from Hazza on these hard tyres. Isn't really in a position to be battling anyone on those hard boys. 10 laps hold. If that is a lap 1 change, which I think it is, could go to the end on those. Ah, we see Val in the pits, coming out on soft tyres. This is going to be a 2-stopper, I would imagine. It's a risky strategy, although it could be relying on safety cars coming out. We also see Cato. Was that a double stack? Possibly. Although the gap was quite big. Julius Cheeser also coming in for some fresh mediums, so Cheeser going for the double stack, the double stop, sorry, the 2-stopper. Two-stopper double medium run, which is really depends how it goes. It's all about safety car timing from there. And the field is nice and spread out, so for now we're going to follow on with CSAVs. Let's go CSAVs, for sure. That's what I was just about to do. So Val in a very nice spot. 3rd place, soft tyres, fresh ones. If they're going for the 2-stopper, and that's the plan, we'll definitely know what the best pit window is. And so there you go. Rest of the field nice and spread. Nobody quite in overtaking range at the moment. Things to look out for though are the pit timings for Noxie and CSAVs. And also the Viking, who's already pitted once. I think from softs to mediums. Around lap 6, 7? I'm not sure. Would have been 6. Now have a little look on board with Val, who will be absolutely steaming on these soft tyres. Has a Hawk with another penalty. What's up with CSAV's internet, Roger? He's lagging out a bit. He's not on holiday somewhere, is he? So Val burning a little bit of energy. Let me look into that. Good. I'm glad somebody's on it. I'll be very impressed if Val manages to go to the end on these tyres. Seems pretty unlikely. Pretty high degradation around here. But I've been surprised before. It's closing up on Noxie pretty quickly, but then again, Noxie is on the 12 lap hold. Yeah, definitely shut down all your all your torrents, everything. Get it all turned off. Need the performance gains. Stop your Bitcoin mining, all that sort of thing. So, in the immediate future, we're going to be looking to see Avanti closing up on Viking, which Viking won't really want to have to deal with. Val making up about 2.5 seconds so far into the gap into Noxie, who should be pitting in the next couple of laps at least. We've seen a full 2 seconds come out now. It's still coming down. Viking managing to pull away a little bit from Avanti. Let's just check in with how Avanti's going. A little bit of a rough upshift out of that second, or into that second straight, second DRS zone. Sitting at about a 2-second gap so far. Ronaldinho with a 3-second penalty. That's for track limits. Shouldn't change the outcome too much. Val does manage, by the end of the lap, to get almost 4 seconds out of that gap. Noxie is still going. And sets the fastest lap. It's coming down and down and down. This could be a really good strategy from Val to go for the 2-stopper. I think those soft tyres are just so fast compared to what's ahead. And the people that choose to go onto hards, that's a whole nother situation. One that I don't usually think is the best idea. Really depends on safety cars though. Val managing to pick up DRS there on Noxie, so he's right on the back. We'll definitely be looking to overtake. This is not great though, catching up to Noxie in Sector 3, where overtaking is pretty tricky. Had yellow flags there from somebody. Ooh, has a little look up the inside. Don't really want to be going for dangerous stuff like that. Too aggressive when you're effectively in the lead. Have a good strategy. Could look down into turn 1 though with a good exit here, and does get a great exit. And will be looking all the way down here. Gets it done. Leaves Noxie a little bit behind. Noxie though has the opportunity to stay in DRS range here though, and Val has used a ton of energy, so Noxie could have this back. It could just be though that those soft tyres, the grip, oh, maybe didn't even get DRS there. That looked like it clicked above a second over that detection line. It did. Wow. So Val, in the space of a couple 100 meters, manages to break DRS. Not sure where the lags come from. Yeah, I don't know. We'll check back. Maybe it's sorted itself out. I mean, even with the connection issues, still getting clean lines. Riding those curbs nicely. 15 laps on the mediums, still setting very decent times so far. For sure, yeah. Everyone needs a good excuse set up, so that's fine. We can forgive him for that. So CSAV's maybe looking to go for 20 laps, which gives you the perfect one-stop window for the soft tyre run. On low fuel, the softs can do 8 laps very comfortably. Also could look to go at 18 and just do 10, where they will start to struggle at the end, but it's not going to be too much of a big deal. But currently, doing a great job on these old mediums, setting great lap times. Val is cutting into the gap, so far as got about 8/10 this lap. We'll see what it is over the course of the rest of the lap. If it stays above a second, we could be in for a very good battle towards the end. As if Val chooses to stay out on those soft tyres, it's going to be big difference in grip by the end, as I sit back up on my blow-up mattress. Apologies. My back is killing me. Quite a lot lower than I was when the race started. So what are we at? A second and a half. Yeah, about a second and a half. So that should mean that CSAT should be fine until the pit window opens for them. Let's ride on board with Val for a little bit, and then we'll head back through the field and watch a couple other drivers. So these soft tyres are going to start to fall off in about 3 laps. The Viking on 12 lap old medium. Safety car. Oh no, what's happened? That is a lock. He's just lost it coming out onto that second DRS zone. And we see the pitting is starting. Wild in the pits. Avanti. A double stack. Not quite. The Mercedes were just far enough. If your back is killing you, get a kneeling chair. Yeah, the problem is I'm moving house right now, so I actually don't have any furniture. I'm just sat on a blow-up mattress that has a hole in it. So by the time I wake up in the morning, I'm on the floor. But yeah, a kneeling chair. There you go. I haven't seen those in a while, but I'll give it a look into. Thanks for the tip. Alright, so you've got to expect to see CSAV's pitting here. I mean, this is just too perfect. It's going to end up doing 9 or 8 laps on the soft tyres. It's probably going to keep position. Val could be looking to pit too. You would expect to see it. He's going to as well. Noxie 100% is going to pit. DJ Millsy probably as well. Soft tyres are definitely the way to go. So CSAVs coming out in first after an incredibly good stint on those medium tyres. Has led them all the way up to that safety car and is in a great position now for the rest of the race. Val also has done a great job. Is going for a 2-stopper. Did 5 laps on those softs. But did such a great job that has managed to gap Noxie and Cato and Millsy. Millsy has benefited quite a lot from this safety car as well. Up into 4th. Viking in 7th. Cheeser with a penalty down in 9th. So Wild has gone on to medium tyres, which is an interesting choice. By the time the safety car comes out, or finishes, sorry, goes back in, it's going to be about 8 laps. So Valhalla, Joe, Wild, all on the mediums. I don't know that there's really going to be a crossover point for those. I think they're just the worst tyre for this situation. They maybe had to go on to mediums. Maybe they did 2 soft stints. Not sure. It's going to be a bit of an interesting finish though with this top 4, 5. Val and Cato, the ones to look out for, needing a good result for the Constructors' win, which is currently held by Mercedes, Viking and Julius Cheeser. Saddest setup I've ever had. Someone buy this amount of mattress. No, I don't need one. I'm moving. Like I say, I've got a mattress. It's at my other house. Don't worry about it. Valhalla with 2 sets of softs. Oh no. So that's why I had to go on the mediums. So as I thought, some of them probably have to. It's going to be rough. Luckily for Valhalla though, Joe behind has mediums on as well. Cheeser in front has a penalty, so it's definitely doable. What's even sadder about waking up on the floor is setting your alarm for 4 a.m. to wake up and blow it up. Which I have done a couple of times. I'm in the new house though this weekend, so should be all good. And I'll be back for Brazil, the sprint race in Brazil for the Mansell Series. Not that the constructors or drivers is back on for the Haas team, but hopefully give Viking a bit of a run for his money in the final race. We're going to have to start putting a limit on how many trophies you can have next to your name in the chat, because Viking's got about 4 right now, I think. It's going to have a 5th by the end of the Mansell season. Yeah. All right, so we're on lap 20. Safety car will probably come in this lap. We've got, who's that right at the back? Is that Ronaldinho? It is. So a bit of a lapped car situation. Hazard is in front. Wait, where is Hazard? Ah, Hazard is in front of Wild. So currently 7th on track position, and I think the safety car will come in. Oh, right, has a lap behind, so yes, so safety car's coming in. We're going to watch CSAV's restart this one from Val's perspective, who'll be wanting to get right up as close as possible. Val will be needing maximum points for this constructor's win. CSAV's waiting and waiting. Val going for a late spin, or a late warm of the tyres, which puts Noxie right alongside. Valdo with the drive does have it into the first corner. We see a little bit of a gap forming as Hazard gets out of the way. Cheeser moving up, which is great. Oh, a massive crash there for Hazard. Hawk, who is, of course, a lap behind. Julius Cheeser, without the helmet on, is being brave this race. Cato as well, with big constructors implications, finds himself down in 9th place with a couple of, or just the one soft tyre runner ahead. Valhalla has managed to hold on to 10th so far. Millsy all the way on the back of Noxie. Cheeser on the back of Avanti. So big moves going to be happening for these final 7 laps. Everyone using a ton of energy. DJ using some. Could go for a lunge. Chooses not to. Uses a ton of energy for it as well. So Cato getting overtaken there. Oh no, it's had a bit of a spin. Has dropped out of the points, so it's all up to Val to score the maximum possible points here. CSAVs is going to do their best to make sure that that doesn't happen. Cato could make his way back into the points. We see the medium runners packing together now with Ronaldinho and Cato behind. But for now, the race at the front is the one we need to watch. We will keep flicking back to see action further down the pack. So Val doing a good job, staying in range here. Gets a good exit off this tricky hairpin as well. Not going to see any overtakes just yet, but further down the field we have Joe and Ronaldinho side by side. Ronaldinho with the inside line. Could potentially... Oh, okay. Joe with a sort of outbrakes himself a bit. And then compromised the exit onto the second zone. And Ronaldinho, in the meantime, is caught all the way up to Valhalla, who's on those medium tyres. Wild all over the back of Chiesa, who wants to be hanging on to the maximum possible points to try and keep the Constructors' lead going into the end of the season. It's currently, I think, about 12 points, the difference between Alfa Romeo of Val and Cato and the Mercedes of Viking and Chiesa. DRS is re-enabled. Val, so far, has managed to stay in range of C-Sabs, who spins! In Sector 1, C-Sabs with a spin into the wall. Car's still going. That's a reset to track, which I'm not sure is allowed, but what can you do? Ah, retires. So there you go. Joe without a front wing has pitted. No, yeah, I know, right? That was rough. Pushing to try and drop Val from the DRS zone. And so Val in a commanding position now in first place with a 2-stop strategy. Viking just behind DJ Millsy. We're going to see Chiesa go for an overtake on Avanti. And the two Mercedes closing in on some pretty decent points. So the end of this race could be a real tricky situation. If we assume that Val takes the maximum points for the Constructors, then Alfa Romeo will be sat on... Oh, I need to just do some quick maths. Bear with me. 138. And then if we get a 4th and 5th finish, it'll be... Oh. 140... 148? Yeah, it'll be a tie. Is that right? Or am I just completely... No, I think it'll be a tie. What happens in a tie in the Constructors? Is that a thing? Oh, that doesn't take into account fastest lap though, so... If one of these picks... Oh my god, I can't even speak. If they pick up fastest lap, it'll be... could make the difference. Who has it right now? Can we see that? Is that a thing? Val has it. Oh my word. Is this actually going to come down to a fastest lap point? Have I got my maths right there? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's right. So, yeah, we might end up with a tie, I think. Especially if Cato's in 9th and can get some points. What do we get for 9th? Is it 2? Yeah, 2. So, oh, this could be tight right down to the wire. Ideally, we'll need to see some movement from. Oh, we got Cat to the leader. Can Cat move up? Not really. Val is already scoring maximum points, so right now we would need Cat to be moving up a spot, or Cheeser to be moving down a spot. Right now, I believe Mercedes will finish 1 point ahead with the current situation, even with the fastest lap. But again, that was all quick maths done on the fly, and I'm not in a fit state to be doing that sort of mathematical action. Not on stream, anyway. I need my paper and my pen. Cheeser, though, really needs to not fight the Viking. We should double check on penalties, too, because that could change things. So, luckily for Cheeser, the people behind them have penalties as well. So, with no movement on that front, Mercedes have probably done enough. There's still a few laps to go, though. Anything can happen. As we see the Mercedes on track together. And no doubt Cheeser will not fight the Viking for this position. Viking did promise some donuts at the end of this race, but that was only under the assumption that the Constructors was tied up, which so far it is not, so we probably won't see any. Which is, you know, disappointing, but what can you do? Avanti, though, is closing a little bit. Cheeser needs to stay nice as we see the same marshals standing in the same spot. Again, doing sweet FA. We're going to run on board with Avanti just to see how their laps are progressing. Down to a 2-second gap now. Just about to cross the line, and there's 2 laps remaining. So if, hypothetically, Cheeser was bumped a position and finished 6th, that would potentially swing the Constructors. So Avanti in a position to play spoiler a bit. Viking needs to ensure that Cheeser is still getting DRS. Bit of teamwork here. Can never go too far awry. We do see that Cheeser is getting that DRS. We'll have a look at the rear wing. Nice and open there. So it's going to be real tricky for Avanti to catch. With the slipstream and the DRS just pulling along Cheeser. Cato has managed to move up quite a bit, so with another lap and a half to go, 5-second gap, he's using up that energy. I would keep using it, my friend. You want to try and maximize your push for the last bit of the race. Using it in the corner, though, is a bit sketch. Seems to be invisible right now, as far as I can tell. Not sure why. Avanti dropping back even further now, so it's at a 3-second gap. And Avanti out, so Cheeser will not come down a position. Cat will move up 1 though, and so that could change things. Again, I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to wait and see. So we're on to the final lap. Val, 5 seconds ahead, is coming around the back straight into Sector 3. And a fantastic drive from Val. The strategy worked nicely. The mediums into the double softs with that safety car. Didn't get the best safety car timing. That award probably goes to CSAVs, who then was struggling for grip coming out of turn 2. And unfortunately, well, didn't really DNF, just sort of gave up at that point, which is, you know, that's fair enough. And Val crosses the line. We have Noxie coming across now as well. DJ Millsy with another podium. Cheeser, who has overtaken Viking, and will drop the position back once the penalties have been applied. Oh, are we going to see it? Yes, we are. Nice. So, it doesn't drop the place back, but for the sake of the constructors, it's the same result. So now, while I have the time, and while we're watching the last few people finish off their race, let's get to some mathematics. So, 4th and 5th is 22. So, Mercedes have finished on 348 points. As we see Val celebrating there on the podium. A great race from Val. And then we got, what did we get? 1st and an 8th. So that's 30 points. Oh, nah, Mercedes just got it. 3 points the difference in the end. 348 for the Mercedes team, 345 for the Alfa Romeo team. So Val would have, Cat, sorry, would have needed to go up another 2 places. I think. Yes. Sure. Well, anyway. It was a good race. Well done by everyone. Some good strategy. Oh, there's a lot of chat going on, but I have not been reading it properly. Wait a second. Hold on. Give me a second. Need Millsy to beat Noxie and one. Didn't you say 138? Did I? Did I? I meant 3. Oh, no. Cat with the crash. The game crashed, not a car crash, sorry. And down for maintenance. Oh no. Cat was, that's why it was looking invisible, because it was AI doing the race. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, well, I don't know what to say about that. It's very unfortunate. On for a cracker. Allegedly, Cato was on for a cracker. Yeah, look, all I can say is hopefully the next game is better in some ways. We can all dream. Anyway, speaking of the next game, that is the end of the Hakkinen series for F1 2021. So, the next game comes out on the 1st of July. I don't know when the races, the league races, are continuing after that. Probably at least a couple of weeks for everyone to learn the new tracks. But there you go. The only race we have left is the Mansell Series on Tuesday. That's in Brazil. It's a sprint race. I'll be there, I think, hopefully. And yeah, Vikings already won that one too, so congratulations, Viking. Congratulations, Mercedes. Another drivers and constructors win, just like in real life, but not anymore. And yeah, that's the end of the stream. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again when we see you again. Bye.